Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. The Apostle John tells us that many spirits have gone out in the world, and these spirits are against God. They're antichrist spirits. They're against God. And one of the key strategies that Satan and all of these demonic spirits have is to get people to worship something else other than the true God. Here's why that's their strategy. Every human being is created with the ability and the desire, and in fact, I would even say the need to worship. Just look at humans everywhere. There's always some type of religion, whether they would call it religion, or it's superstition, or it's just humanism, or it's nature, Mother Nature. There's always a desire to worship, because God created us with the desire to worship. It's almost like we have an emptiness inside of us if we're not worshiping. And it always gets filled with something. And so these demonic spirits take advantage of that. And they want to take people away from worshiping the true God and worshiping something else, a substitute. And it's usually a substitute that has an easier morality attached to it. So it could be Buddhism, it could be Hinduism, could be Islam, could be anyone, New Age, all of these. There's one for everybody. That many spirits have gone out in the world. But we all have that inside of us, that desire, and it will be filled with something. We know that what controls our universe is beyond us, and we want to worship that. We want to access that power. Some people believe in karma, which is like from what I understand, like a positive energy. You surround yourself with positive energy, and then positive things will start happening to you. And that even, there are spirits that bring that into the Christian church, the quote-unquote Christian church, in the form of this positive thinking mentality, this idea, if I just name it and claim it, that everyone's going to be rich if I just don't focus on anything negative. Only good things will happen to me. So I always have what they would call faith, which is really not faith. It's really karma or positive energy disguised in a religious way. So some people go that way, and it even works its way into the church, and many popular preachers and churches are full of that. Some people believe in luck. It's just a matter of luck. And it's not like someone would say, or they were just lucky that you caught it or dropped a ball in a game or something like that. No, they believe there's a force called luck. And you do certain things. Knock on wood, rub Buddha's belly. All these different kind of things will give you good luck. And you believe there's something beyond you. So you end up worshiping luck, good luck. There's superstitions. Don't step on that line. Don't go under a ladder. This belief in if I do certain things will happen. People go to palm readers. People look at horoscopes. All of these different type of religious things outside of God to fill that empty place inside. Now, Paul was familiar with all those things. He lived and he ministered in a pagan world. And pagans, they had that desire to worship something, and they filled it with all different kinds of gods and belief systems. That's the world of the primitive Christianity. That's where Paul and the other apostles went out into the Gentile world. It was filled with all these different types of beliefs. So it's nothing new in the Bible. And now we're up to the part in Paul's story where he's a prisoner. He's been shipwrecked along with the centurion, all the other prisoners, different people, and they made their way on this island, which they find out is Crete. And they have been treated very well by the islanders there, and so they're making a fire to, I guess, warm themselves, maybe to cook something. And this is how the story goes. And we're in Acts 28. Paul gathers a pile of wood, and he's putting it on the fire. And as he's putting it on the fire, a snake, a venomous, in other words, a poisonous snake, comes out and bites him in the hand. It's actually digs its fangs and its teeth into his hands. It's holding on to his hands, and those fangs have poison in them. And when the people who are living on that island, when they see the snake hanging from his hands, they say to each other, "This man must be a murderer, for though he escaped from the sea, the goddess Justice has not allowed him to live." They had this belief system. It was almost like there's a God of justice, there's a God of this, there's a God of that. It's mixed with a little bit of karma, all of those kind of things together. That if you, and apparently they believed that justice was going to catch up with him. And that's why the snake bit him. They put a religious reason on everything that they saw happening. Now, if I was bitten by a snake like that, I would be petrified. Paul was not scared at all. Not at all. Paul just shook the snake off into the fire, and then the snake died. Paul went about his business, whatever he was doing with the fire. Didn't seem sick at all. Now let's pick up what happened in Acts 28, verse 6. The people expected him, Paul, to swell up or suddenly fall dead. But after waiting a long time and seeing nothing unusual happen to him, they changed their minds and said, "He is a god." He is a god. It's kind of a funny scene. Paul's been bitten by the snake. It's not bothering him at all. And the people are like looking at him. Okay, he's going to die any minute now. And they're like all looking at him, waiting for him to keel over and die. Because their belief system is that this goddess named Justice has made him be bitten by the snake. They put a religious meaning behind the snake. It was just a snake in wood that happened to bite him. But they're sitting there waiting. Nothing happens. So they changed their minds. First they thought, he's a murderer. Now they think, he's a god. That's what it is. He's a god. That's the explanation for what's happening. That's why he didn't die. He is a god also. Just one of the gods we don't know yet. They changed their minds. Changed their minds. God never changes his mind. Never, ever changes his mind. God loves you today. He'll love you tomorrow. And he will never stop loving you. God never changes his mind. Now, Paul, I believe why Paul was not worried about being bitten by a snake is because Paul knew his destiny. He knew his purpose. If you look back in Acts 27, verse 24, an angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, "You're not going to die in this when the ship gets wrecked in the storm, because you are going to stand trial before Caesar, the ruler of the entire world at that time. You're going to stand before Caesar and you're going to testify to him." That was his purpose all the way back in Acts 9. Paul will testify, be my witness before the Gentiles and their kings. He had a divine destiny, a God-given destiny. And he knew his destiny. And nothing was going to change his destiny, because God doesn't change his mind. So when he's bitten by the snake, well, this can't be, this is not going to kill me. Why? Because I have to testify before Caesar. And that has not happened yet. So therefore, I'm not going to die. Not in the storm, not with the snake. No Russian, no, I'm not a Russian. No Roman can kill me. Nobody can kill me, because I have a destiny. Maybe he also knew what Jesus said in Mark 16:18, that if they get bitten by his followers of Jesus, they get bitten by a snake, it won't harm them. But he knew his destiny, his God-given destiny, and nothing was going to stop his destiny. The application for you and for me is to know our God-given destiny, because knowing our destiny will give us confidence. It'll give us power in spiritual warfare, and we'll never be tricked by Satan. We will overcome circumstances. Now, everybody has a destiny. And there's two kinds of destinies or purposes for your life. One is a general destiny or general purpose. And our general purpose or destiny is to testify to others about Jesus Christ. That's our destiny. And then we have specific destinies. Paul had a very specific destiny. He was going to speak to Caesar, the ruler of the world. A specific destiny. Our specific destiny may not be as grandiose, may not be as big, it may be something less, but as you seek God, God will show you what he has for you to do. So remember, you always do your general destiny, and God at times will give you a specific destiny. And once you know your destiny, your general destiny, and your specific destiny, nothing will be able to stop you, because God never changes his mind. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.